you're struggling with the arm to get the arm in, right? First of all, I want to make sure you've got full tension, but just lift him that way. Just lift him. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a massive movement.
Even when you're on top here, when you get used to practicing, I use this all the time in those sorts of positions. Because if the other person doesn't understand this and you put weight through it, and they kind of just try to pummel, they really struggle. You have to be able to, if you're doing it in slow motion, you should be able, I think, from the correct use of the full mechanics, if you're broadly the same size physically, all of these are all like little counters. It's kind of like the rock, paper, scissors game. So if I'm on top, and he doesn't really know this, like in closed guard, I use this a lot. If I want to see the clock out and tie up the arse to try and open somebody's guard, you know, I just want to buy a rest. I'll just be like this, and I just put weight in it. And if they just try and pummel, they'll feel pinned. They'll feel really pinned here. And it's kind of testing, do they know this? Do they really know what, because once I put, this isn't so bad, they can pummel here because there's no weight. Yeah, but the minute I start doing this to them, and I just start turning my thumbs, and then they try and re-pummel, they're stuck. Because I've got all the tension, I've got all the weight, basically pinning their shoulders on here. And by me internally rotating here, this is pretty close to my rib cage. So it shuts the space. It isn't as good in terms of closing the space as being here. This is the best of all. If I don't want any space at all, this is why I'm saying I go full extension down here. And the more I bring my knees up to it, there's even less space. So if the more I do this, now this is like, you're never going to want to do this. Does that make sense? And if I don't give them the underhook, what have they got? I want to force headlock games all the time. And then I just need to be good at defending headlocks, because it doesn't matter what somebody's level is, if they can't get an underhook, they've got a big, big problem. Does that make sense? Is there any questions or observations about that?
Could you show us again the guillotine clock view that resulted in them having their arm against your head? Couldn't get that. So this is the second option.
The way you've got to try and do this is to be able to put tension through the body. So you're talking about from this position or from the other one?
Yeah, but you rather than swimming through, you're swim underneath.
Under here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how far up he is. If this is easy for me, I'm not going to, I don't go under. That depends on where he's putting his weight and how far up he is. Yeah, the more he stacks, yeah, the more he comes up, really put your weight on the chin with your shoulder. Yeah, like, depends where he is. I might not be able, he can put all his, you know, it's like putting all your money on red. He can put all his money on red or then I go black. Put some money in black and go red. So if he's really stacking up high, there's loads of space here. Then I'm going to go under.
I play a similar game on that far side of your, if I've got this and you pummel this in, I come back with the elbow rather than trying to go under.
And then you just go the other way. But I'd rather go slow to begin with, because the basic shape, what we really need to do to maximise our opportunity is to fully rotate the thumb inwards or outwards. Because these are the extremes. These are what's going to give us the most opportunity. You know, when I'm coming, look, I'm here. It's high again. or it might go down. But it's all this full rotation which puts tension through different parts of the arm. So here now, my tension is in my shoulder, because I'm basically Kimuring myself. I have this is a Kimura shape, so the tension's all in here. If I go here, tension now's in my elbow. I'm basically Americana-ing myself, or top wrist lock, or whatever you'll call it. And it all comes with different trades. There's like more space here now, or whatever, but my tension's in my elbow. My tension's in my shoulder. And I can then just start moving my legs around as appropriate. Yeah? Now I have a whizzer. But it's all the same pummelling drill. And then you use the legs to also then change the shape as you feel appropriate. You get to dictate that from the bottom. Yeah.
Would you do that in half guard bottom?
Yeah, it's all the same.
Moving on wire.
All the arm, all this arm thing doesn't change. It's basically 4 major positions of the arm. So it's, to me, it's just like 4 places up. 1, thumb turned, arm straight, thumb turned in. Right, I could obviously do that, but then, I may as well do this. Is what creates tension. There's no tension really here. That's tension. Yeah, so it's almost like kind of like an Americana shape. The Kimura shape, which we use the guillotine or get Kimura, puts tension here. And then there's the iron pillow, which is full inward rotation of thumb. That's it. Yeah. So I'll set the clock for you. We're going to just start in that position, or we try and pass. Or you really try and pass. So 3 minutes. Started in that position. You can start either here or here. I would mix it up. Don't just do one or the other. Let's give it a go. 3 minutes, one side passing. Try not to get swept. We're kind of going for this. No point being floppy. If you pass, you start again. Go back in under it. Once you get an underhook, start to try and go to their back. So you only need one underhook, you start to go to the back. Looks to me like you've got an underhook there, Ryan. There's you go to his back. Go to his back. You're trying to open that space up, are we? So if you get the underhook on this side, his shoulder comes to the middle of his sternum.
On this side?
No, you had the underhook on that
On
side.
side, right.
You start bringing that shoulder right into the middle of his sternum. Yeah, you get the grip, now the shoulder goes up. Get off your back. Up, 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 up. Yeah. Lift with your feet as well. You get to lift with your feet as you're trying to pummel. I would lift him at an angle, make him post his hand while you're going to sweep him. All the way up, don't just leave the arm there, all the way up above your head. All the way up above your head, Owen. Reach and lift, reach and lift, reach and lift, reach and lift. All the way at the back. Side, on the side. Let's go. Turn your thumb out, keep your thumbs out though. You can re-pummel. Nice. Sweet. Flex your feet, dorsiflex come, dorsiflex all the time. Underhook, shoulders in the middle, arm all the way up now. Sweep. There you go. And now underhook, all the way up, Stop the back take, sweeping. Stop to sweep, back take. Start to stack on him. You stack him. Get your head to the ground. Hips up.
My head's to ground.
Yeah. Nice. Start again. To the back. Nice. Time.
Really frustrating inside.
Yeah.
Now you're pummeling in for those underlooks.
Yeah.
Is there, what part of the arm should you enter, do you think, to get under? Is there any particular part where it's weaker?
No, if he puts his arms out, it's a nightmare.
So it doesn't matter if you try here or here, hook of the elbow,
Yeah.
the hand, makes no difference.
It's a real problem. That's why we're doing it. If you don't give people underhooks, they have no way of stabilising positions. Underhooks stop transition. You know, if you can get an underhook, you get to decide. This is kind of what's happening here. When you're on the bottom, you get the underhook, you can sweep him. He counters a sweep, you take his back. He counters the back take, you sweep him. That ends up being the game. But from the minute I feel I've got that, if I start to get the underhook with his arm up, I take my, I've got this option, or I take my shoulder to his arm, I take my shoulder straight to his sternum, and I begin getting on my side. So I'm using that frame. The underhook's really a frame that opens up space. It gives me the inside position, It lets me expand him. So when I expand and open the space up on him, which makes him more vulnerable. And it either knocks him over, or he bases and I take his back. That's the gist of it. One of the things I would say about this is, Joe goes down, just don't move for now. Just get in your position, flex your toes or whatever, put your hands between your, right, so don't move. One of the things you can do, you might move around this one. One of the things that you'll notice in half guard